Live from Foundation Field here in beautiful Hamilton, Ohio. A little Southern Ohio Copperheads baseball action for you here on a Sunday night. Copperheads traveling to face the first place Hamilton Joes after a tough loss last night to the Grand Lake Mariners, a game where they really battled the entire game, had a couple things just slip away, a couple inopportune things happen, weren't able to get things done, but winners of 4 out of their last 5, joined by Sedric Granger, as always, Tim Hanna, back after getting a much-needed day off yesterday. Thank you to Ethan Sargent for covering down. You'll hear a little bit more of him in the next couple of weeks. He'll be filling in for me in a couple of days on that ice hauler trip. Sedric, the Copperheads played really well in their last couple of games, but have had some things, a couple of critical errors that have really kind of derailed their chances against Grand Lake yesterday.
Yeah, it sure did, Tim. Again, one of the biggest issues was the errors coming at unopportune times. The Copperheads, they ended up tying up the game in the 6th inning, 5-5. They had a lot of momentum, and then they had 2 outs in the inning. The game was still tied, and they had a chance to get out of it. And then 2 errors happened, back-to-back errors, and it was a backbreaker for the Copperheads. It ended up allowing them to give up 2 more runs. Those 2 runs ended up being the difference in that 9-7 defeat on the road in Grand Lake. And it's always tough losing at Grand Lake because, again, that's a 3-hour bus ride. And one thing that these Copperheads players have had to deal with is a lot of long bus rides, lots of long trips. They've been on the road in a bus for 8.5 hours over the last 24. That's 1/3 of the time. And, I mean, you have your sleep to account for. So other than that, again, you're either warming up, playing a game, going to sleep, or you're on the bus, and that can be really tiring on a team. And for the Copperheads, they've done really well over this last couple of games, winning 4 out of their last 5, 6 out of their last 10. But if they're going to want to make a bid at the playoffs, they're going to need to not have any more losing streaks the rest of the season. One thing we talked about with Luke about the Hamilton Joes, it always seems like whenever they have a loss, they always follow it up with a win. Copperheads will be forced to do the same thing here at Foundation Field, a place where they've competed very well on the season.
They've held the Hamilton Joes to just 4 runs here at Foundation Field. On the mound today for the Hamilton Joes, Brock Narker. Narker from right-hander from Wright State. 2 innings pitched, 6 runs, 6 earned, 8 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts against the Jazz, making his 7th appearance of the year. Picked up a win against the Copperheads in that 4-1 victory for the Joes the last time we were down here. Getting things started today for the Copperheads will be Jordan Long. We'll go through the Copperheads lineup here in a moment after the first pitch. Long went 0 for 4 last night in Grand Lake, playing his 2nd straight game, but is 4 for 7 on the year here at Foundation Field. First pitch from Narker, swung on and missed for strike number 1. In the on-deck circle, Clayton Hodges, followed up by the number 3 hitter, Kyle Ratliff, Josh Steidel, Maverick Stallings, 6, 7, 8 hitters, Mitch Class, Trey Rucker, Bam Thomas, and we'll end things off with Carson Shepard. 1-1 pitch, low for ball number 2. So it counts 2-1, Jordan Long. Defensively, for the Hamilton Joes, Cal Brazier, Parker Lester on the corners. Riley Hawthorne, Clay Badalak in the center as that one's chopped foul. Even the count at 2-2. Outfield, a couple familiar names for the Joes. Grant Miller, Bennett Clement, and Caden Konzak.
Bennett Clement's definitely the player to circle on the Hamilton Joes. We've seen him in a lot of those matchups. He's batting 6 for 13 against the Copperheads, and most notably has been a focal point of what we're going to call the attendance rivalry.
2-2 pitch was low, so that'll load the count for Jordan Long.
I think the attendance rivalry is a perfect fitting name, as both of these 2 teams consistently lead the GLSCL in attendance, not to mention the rivalry has completely formed throughout this year.
Jordan Long will send that one foul, so we'll do it again here full. Quite a few All-Stars for the Hamilton Joes. They actually led the league with 11 of them this year. only one starter for the Joes. Chase Hopewell will be the starting pitcher. Full count pitch swung on and missed, so that's a strikeout for Jordan Long. Appears that Clayton Hodges, or that rather Jordan Long was the beer batter. So discounted beer here for these Hamilton Joes fans. Clayton Hodges will step up to the mound or the plate now. The first pitch, send it foul, and first pitch, and our camera down for the count. Apologize for that, folks.
Yeah, fortunately, it wasn't a direct hit. We've been waiting that we might get unlucky every now and again, and the camera might hit it as we see the 0-1 going to be flied out foul for strike number 2. Count is 0-2 with 1 out in the top of the first inning. No score as we're trying to get the camera set up. Good work, Tim, working the damage control. I think it looks pretty solid, and we're back and ready to go.
0-2, sent out into right field. The catch is made by Caden Konzak, and that's 2 quick outs here in the top of the first for the Copperheads. Going back to what I was saying about the All-Stars, the Hamilton Joes led with 11 total All-Stars, but only one of them will be a starter. That's Chase Hopewell, will be the starting pitcher. Other notable other notable Joes, Nick Wimmers, Riley Hawthorne, Clay Badalak, Bennett Clement, Grant Miller, Clay Brock, Josh Leisure will all get a chance to play in that game. First pitch misses low to Kyle Ratliff, so the count will be 1-0. Ratliff had himself a nice couple of days during that home stretch, hitting .368 over his last 7 games. Counts 2-0 to Kyle Ratliff here in the top of the first. 2 outs. Nothing and nothing on the scoreboard, just getting things started here. Kyle Ratliff will send that one out into right field. Konzak drifting over, makes the catch, and that's 3 outs for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the first. When we return, we'll see Jake Jordan on the mound for the Copperheads, and top 3 will be Grant Miller, Riley Hawthorne, and Nick Wimmers. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Welcome back here to Foundation Field. Headed into the bottom of the first inning today, brought to you by Ohio Health. Thank you to Ohio Health for all you do for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Sorry we don't have the graphics available on screen. Again, the heat tends to mess with the equipment, and so we're limited by a couple of things. But nonetheless, we're bringing you Copperheads baseball here live on YouTube. Jake Jordan on the mound today for the Copperheads. Went 3 1/3, allowed 2 hits, 1 run, and a trio of walks and strikes in the win against the Hamilton Joes. Their first time here, I believe, is when he picked up that win. Sends the first pitch to Grant Miller in there for a ball. Hamilton Joes starting to settle back into that first place spot. We saw them drop a little bit in the standings after a rough week last week, but after the, again, rough week from the Xenia Scouts, who dropped 2 to the Copperheads and then, I believe, 1 to the Cincinnati Steam as well. If there's a first strike to Grant Miller, 3-1 is the count, no outs. Hamilton Joes back atop GLSCL South, sitting at 16-12, winners of their last 2. Grant Miller, 5 for 11 this year against the Joes, and he will load the count there with a bunt that went backwards into the fence. So Jake Jordan with an opportunity here to maybe pick up a strikeout, get things started for the Copperheads.
Yeah, it'll be essential for the Copperheads to not end up in situations where they're down early in a game. We've seen the Copperheads have plenty of games where they fall down 4-0 or 5-1. Can't afford to do that against the Joes.
Check swing, did he go? Rung him up, strike 3. That's a strikeout for Jake Jordan. Got Grant Miller on the check swing. So now stepping into the box, all-star second baseman, Riley Hawthorne from Murray State. 3 for 6 this year against the Copperheads. Does have a home run as well. Colliersville, Tennessee. Coming up here to Ohio to play some summer baseball. First pitch in there low. Ball number 1. Sends that one over to Carson Shepard at second base. The throw in time. So that's 2 quick outs now for the Joes. Something we saw very similar to in the Copperheads half of the inning. Got things started with a strikeout, then a quick out. And now Nick Wimmers, the all-star designated hitter, usually plays catcher, but settling into that designated hitter role tonight. First pitch from Jordan. Skips across the dirt for ball number 1. Offensively for the Copperheads, very similar to what we've seen in the past. Josh Steidel behind the dish. Mitch Class, Jordan Long on the corners. That one will nearly hit Wimmers. Will make the count 2-0. Carson Shepard, Maverick Stallings, that middle infield. Clayton Hodges, Kyle Ratliff, Bam Thomas out there in the outfield. The 2-0 pitch, a little blooper, and Jordan Long reaches out to make the play. Folks at home got a good view of that one. So the Joes go 1-2-3, and when we return in the bottom or the top of the second inning, we'll see Josh Steidel, Maverick Stallings, and Mitch Class. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the second inning, nothing ball game here at Foundation Field on a beautiful Sunday night for baseball. Haven't played a whole lot of Sunday night games, so this will be a first. Josh Steidel, batter for the Copperheads, will take ball number 1 from Brock Narker.
It is. I feel like we're like the ESPN crew for the major leagues, getting some nice Sunday night baseball action. Thank you to all who are joining us right now. We're glad to have you with us for this last matchup in Hamilton. Been one of our favorite fields to go for what we call the attendance rivalry between the Joes and the Copperheads.
Seen some good games on the road here. Steidel's going to rip that one down the first baseline foul. Makes the count 2-1 to Josh Steidel. Steidel, pretty decent day yesterday. 1 for 3, had a run, an RBI, but had to exit the game early after he was hit by a pitch. Hitting .357 over his last 7 games. 2-1 pitch, 3-1 pitch rather, in the dirt. So Steidel's going to march down to first base. He will drop off his protective gear with new first base coach, Gunnar Aldrich. Aldrich helping out Coach Harris today. Coach Harris, of course, also a student at Ohio University, finishing up his master's degree, and has a little more homework than he could manage today. So he's in the dugout doing some homework, and Gunnar Aldrich, who had the night off tonight, out there coaching first base.
Yeah, so even when Aldrich thought he would have the night off, he's still getting some work at the other end of the spectrum with the coaching. He hasn't had a night off in quite a long time.
Maverick Stallings swings at that one to even the count at 1-1. Stallings last night 1 for 5 and score a run, but did break out of a 3-game hitless streak yesterday, starting to get that average back up, hitting 172, 3 RBIs on the year. 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike number 2. No outs. Josh Steidel on first base here in the top of the second in a scoreless ball game. Foundation Field, both teams went 1-2-3 in the first behind really solid pitching performances from Brock Narker and Jake Jordan. 1-2 popped up in the infield. Steidel will retreat back to first base for out number 1. So that'll bring Mitch Class up to the plate. Mitch Class, junior first baseman from Concordia St. Paul. 0 for 3 yesterday and 1 for 10 at the plate. And the only hit he had was one of the most important hits of the season for the Copperheads, the game-winning RBI against the Cincinnati Steam to not only break that losing streak, but start the win streak for the Copperheads. 6, 4, 3 double play will end the inning. Josh Steidel reached on a walk, and then part of that 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So the Copperheads go 1-2-3 again here in the top of the second. And when we return, we'll see Parker Lester, Evan Ulrich, and Bennett Clement. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the second inning brought to you by Jackie O's Brewery. It's Brew Week in Athens. So be sure to head out to all the different local establishments and try some Jackie O's beer. Of course, the Homer's Hazy IPA, special beverage made for the Copperheads this summer. First pitch to Parker Lester. Fouled off, or rather skipped foul. 1-0. 1-0 pitch sent over to Maverick Stallings. He'll make the throw in time for out number one. So another quick out. Jake Jordan taking care of things quickly here in the bottom of the second. 4 straight retired for the Copperheads.
Yeah, this game is starting to kind of feel like the mold from game number 3, where it was a very low-scoring pitchers duel between Leisure and Cody Williams. So it seems like we're seeing a lot of similar things here, as it looks like a low-scoring pitcher duel so far. Still plenty of innings to go.
First pitch in there to Evan Ulrich, catcher, inside for ball number 1.
One thing that makes the Joes so dangerous is they have 7 out of their 9 hitters in this order batting in between 260 and 330 on the year. Just a very dangerous team. You don't have that one standout guy, truly. You have a whole team of just really solid players. And we're not even talking about Casey Fink, who has the night off right now. He's batting .615 over the last 7 days.
Chopper to Maverick Stallings in time for out number 2. So that's 2 straight to Maverick Stallings, who's staying busy over there at shortstop tonight. It's going to be important, as we saw in the game last night, to make sure that he and Carson Shepard and Jordan Long are all able to cleanly field these ground balls and not run up that error total we saw in the 3 or the 4 wins that the Copperheads just put together. That those error numbers were non-existent. A couple of the games, no errors from the Copperheads.
And if you're going to want to beat the Joes, especially led by Bennett Clement, a guy who tends to get on base against the Copperheads, you can't afford to commit any errors whatsoever. 44 on the season for the Copperheads, and they got to keep it at 44 when the season ends.
Second pitch in there to Bennett Clement, in there for a strike. And I'm sure many Copperheads fans will remember Bennett Clement's name, as he was the one who tried to bunt and avoid striking out to be the hot dog hitter the last time the Joes were in town, and were not recepted well as he was headed back to the dugout.
Not at all. Quite a move that we would call a menace or a villain, as I feel like he's the focal point of this Copperheads and Joes rivalry. And he's known for calling himself safe when he crosses first base, and he did that a lot in those road games against the Copperheads. It'll be exciting to interview him during the All-Star game and see if what's his mentality whenever he does that. Was it just a situation where he remembered game 1 where the Copperheads came into Foundation Field and took control of that game and won and just wanted to get revenge, or if it's just a way he gets pumped up for his road games?
2-2 pitch sent into the fence. Looks like a bit of an earthquake there on the stream, but everything okay.
Of course. If you're lucky, you guys might get some 3D. Ball coming right at you. You can stick your glove up in the air and almost catch it.
Hope for our sake, Cedric, that is not the case. So we'll do it again here, 2-2. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Jake Jordan delivers. Sent foul, barehanded by someone in the Joe's dugout. It looked like Evan Ulrich.
He's a catcher overall, so I mean, if anybody's going to do it.
Nice play by Evan Ulrich. So we'll do it again here, 2-2. Jake Jordan on the 21st pitch of the game. Delivers. Skips low, and will load the count here at 3-2. Bennett Clement hitting .289 on the year, 11 RBIs. Still searching for that elusive first home run. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 3. The second strikeout of the day for Jake Jordan. And we'll head to the top of the third inning. Top of the third will be Trey Rucker, Bam Thomas, and Carson Shepard. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the third inning. Only about 20 minutes into this game, already in the top of the third. Both teams hitless, both teams scoreless, as Trey Rucker will step up to the mound. Just recently transferred to San Benito College and will get a single through the middle of the infield for the first hit of the day. That'll send Bam Thomas up to the plate.
Yeah, Rucker continuing his hot streak. Yesterday, he played very well, went 2 for 4 with a double, 2 RBI single was his highlight play. He also almost had a home run, but Sam Seeker absolutely robbed him as Sam Seeker had to jump over the plane of the wall and almost batted it down like a defensive back, robbing him of the home run, but it still went down as a base hit.
First pitch to Bam Thomas in the dirt. So that'll make the count 1-0. No outs. Trey Rucker on first base, courtesy of the single through the middle of the infield. Brock Narker on the mound will throw back over to first base. Not in time. Trey Rucker, a very shifty guy on the base, has 12 stolen bases on the year. Narker will get the sign. 1-0, Rucker goes. The throw down. And it is in time. They got Trey Rucker caught stealing. Evan Ulrich put that one on a line over there to Clay Badalak at second base. So now 1 out.
Yeah, that was clockwork. You had Narker and Ulrich all put in together a great play. Trey Rucker got a decent jump off of it, but the throw was just fantastic.
Bam Thomas will swing and miss on that one. Make the count 1-2 with 1 out here in the top of the third. Foundation Field, Hamilton, Ohio. 1-2 pitch. Chopper to Riley Hawthorne. Makes a throw in time for out number 2. So that'll send Carson Shepard up to the plate. Carson Shepard hitting out of that 9th spot today and playing second base. Very, very productive day yesterday in the game against the Mariners. Sedric, 1 for 2 with a double, 4 runs, and 3 walks. That ties his season high for a single game.
Yeah, Tim, I mean, we got to talk to him after the game, had a really great interview, and he's really been able to figure out the umpire strike zone well. He's one of those players that really asks the umpire, hey, what's your strike zone? Where's the hits?
He will drop that one into right field, and he's going to put the wheels on, and then now the brakes on. And step back over to first base, but that's a single for Carson Shepard here with 2 outs.
Yeah, Shepard's been on an absolute tear as of lately, batting .313 over the last 7 days, and that number is just going to continue to increase. He's also shown a lot of power. He actually had one that was near the wall in the game against the Grand Lake Mariners, power that we didn't know he had. So, again, things have just been really looking up for Shepard as he's getting better by the day, picking up momentum each and every game.
First pitch in the dirt to Jordan Long. Jordan Long went down on strikes in his first appearance. He is the beer batter here at Foundation Field, so every time Jordan Long strikes out, beer will be discounted for that inning. Narker will look on, deliver the 1-0. Just high. That'll make the count 2-0. Carson Shepard on first base with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. No score yet in this one as first 2 innings flew by. Only took about 20 minutes. Long will chop that one foul. Make the count 2-1.
For the Copperheads, I think the magic number will be 5 runs. They've been able to hold the Joes to 4 runs each time they've been here at Foundation Field. So if they can go ahead and exceed that number, get 5 runs, they should be able to put themselves in position to potentially win this one.
2-1 above the head of Jordan Long. Make the count 3-1. So they'll switch out baseballs. Carson Shepard over there on second base. Sedric, you mentioned we've dubbed this game the attendance rivalry, and Hamilton Joes usually up there with the Copperheads on the top of the attendance list. Of course, not quite getting the same numbers that we get, the same maximum numbers that we get in Bob Wren. Of course, we had over 1,000 people at the game on Saturday night, and what an environment that was.
Yep, and
Jordan Long will draw a walk there as Carson Shepard will advance down to second. And that'll bring Clayton Hodges up to the plate. Hodges flew out to right field in his first appearance.
Of course, Tim, you got to always have the priorities, what's going on the field. But, again, the crowd here also has a little bit of oomph at Foundation Field, but it's nothing compared to what we have at Bob Wren Stadium. We may be biased, but we're also telling the truth.
They are a great crowd here, and they do get involved with the game. You can kind of hear them. One nice thing about where we sit here is we're sitting right kind of in between the big grandstand area and the concession stands on the first base side of home plate. So we kind of are right in the middle of the action here at Foundation Field. 0-1 pitch in the dirt for ball number 1. Carson Shepard on second, Jordan Long on first.
Hodges, another one of those players that's really picking up some steam as the season has gone on. For the first time this year, his on-base percentage has exceeded 40% as he's grown more and more reliable for this Copperhead squad.
Getting a lot more chance to play as well out there in the outfield. So he'll take ball number 2 rather. The count will be 2-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Looking for the first score of the game for either team. 2-1 pitch sent out into right field. And Caden Konzak will get underneath it, make out number 3 of the game. So the Copperheads leave 2 on off 2 hits here in the top of the 3rd. And when we return, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Joes, Caden Konzak, Cal Brazier, and Clay Badalak. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the third inning. Bottom of the third inning today brought to you by OUCU Financial, where you belong. Caden Konzak, the right fielder, will get things started for the Hamilton Joes here in the bottom of the third. Still a scoreless game. Working against Jake Jordan. First pitch from him, high for ball number 1. Caden Konzak, University of Toledo, teammate of Copperhead pitcher Andrew Clellan, who went down, fortunately, in the first game of the year. That one misses inside for ball number 2.
Yeah, sometimes we sit and ponder, Tim, how good would this team be if we had Andrew Clellan, our ace pitcher? How many more games have we been able to maybe pull out a win? And will we have had those pitching problems that we had earlier in the season? It's just things to consider. Injuries always play a big factor in sports. It's a very sad thing, of course, but it is something always notable.
It is, and it's hard to think about. You talk about the injury to Andrew Clellan or whether that was David Go a couple weeks ago. But, yeah, it's just tough to bring in guys to a program like this where they spend almost every waking minute of their summer together, and then a guy goes down. It's a 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. So Jake Jordan will load the count on Cal Brazier here with no outs in the bottom of the third. But it's just tough for guys to see somebody go down with an injury. That one will be fouled back. Konzak, only 1 for 8 against the Copperheads this season, so hasn't been able to do damage like some of the other guys on this lineup. Think about like Bennett Clement or somebody like that, as he'll ground out to Shepard for out number 1.
Yeah, that's now 7 straight batters retired. We'll see if Jake Jordan can keep up this hot streak with his first start. He's usually known for being a guy that comes in relief. We saw him do that for David Go in game 1 of this series and pick up the win, because he pitched very well and really calmed the game down for the Copperheads. And we'll try to do the same thing here and maintain game control against Brazier.
1-0 record this season with a 1.63 ERA. First pitch to Cal Brazier, the big first baseman, in there for a swinging strike. Brazier 2 for 9 for the Copperheads, but does not have a hit at Foundation Field against the Copperheads. Both of those hits came at Bob Wren. Second pitch in there for a ball will even the count up at 1-1 with 1 out. You're on a nice cool, actually still pretty toasty, actually, 85 degrees here in Hamilton, Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. That one will just miss outside for ball number 2. And the count's 2-1 to Cal Brazier. One also misses low. And the count will be 3-1 to Cal Brazier. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Both of the Caden Konzak, the first runner, was retired, and Cal Brazier will draw a walk here in the bottom of the third. So that's the first base runner of the day for the Hamilton Joes. And Clay Badalak, the number 9 hitter, will step into the box now. Try and advance that runner with only 1 out. Jake Jordan gets the sign, delivers the pitch low for ball number 1. Pretty decent ball to strikeout ratio right now. 18 balls to 18 strikes. Gets the sign, throws back over to first to keep Caden Konzak honest.
Yeah, Clay Badalak, one of those players that has a name like Cadillac, and it's a very fitting name considering he likes to drive in runs against the Copperheads. He's 6 for 10 against the Copperheads, and in his last 10 games, he has only 6 hits, and 4 of them are against us. So he's just one of those players that really comes out of the park position whenever he has to play us.
somehow able to really get dialed in against this Copperheads pitching staff as Steidel goes out to the mound just to talk things over with Jake Jordan. Has not thrown a strike in a couple of pitches. The count is 2-0 to Clay Badalak. Badalak hitting .269 with 7 RBIs on the year. Does hit .666 against Jake Jordan. And the count's now 3-0. Caden Konzak on first base. 3-0 pitch. Finds the inside part of that strike zone for strike number 1. So it'll be 3-1 for Clay Badalak. Badalak playing shortstop today. 3-1 pitch. Sent up through the gap and fielded by Ratliff. Badalak thought about, or Konzak thought about turning to go to third, but knows done some research on Kyle Ratliff to know that that's probably not a good idea, Cedric.
Yeah, it's a smart decision. We've seen a lot of runners try to really push their luck on the base path. Sometimes it's good to just be on the more conservative route, especially if you're starting to string together some base runners, getting base hits as well as walks. And Hamilton Joes are a team that has the highest batting average in the GLSCL. So, again, trusting your batting to be able to drive you home is key. Sometimes it's just not worth it trying to risk that extra base.
So 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Caden Konzak on second and Clay Badalak on first base. First pitch to Grant Miller, fouled down that first baseline, or third baseline rather. So 0-1, and the crowd sensing a rally here would open this game up, would be the first score of the game if Grant Miller is able to drive in a run. Jake Jordan looks back at second, delivers the 1-0-1, and the bunt attempt goes foul. So quickly 0-2 to Grant Miller. Grant Miller struck out looking in his first plate appearance back in the first inning. Grant Miller on the year hitting .297, 16 RBIs. We're going to add to that total. He'll step in for the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, so that's another strikeout for Grant Miller on the day. His second, the third for Jake Jordan. Riley Hawthorne will now have 2 outs and 2 on as he goes back to work. Ground out 4-3 as part of that first inning. First pitch swinging as well, I believe. So, very quick inning for him as he'll do it again here. Slow roller to Shepard. The throw is in time, so the Copperheads respond after leaving 2 on by forcing the Joes to leave 2 on here in the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here at Foundation Field on a picture-perfect Sunday night, a little Sunday night GLSCL baseball action. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads baseball on YouTube. Back here for the top of the fourth inning, Kyle Ratliff will get things started for the Copperheads. First pitch, chopper over the head of the pitcher, but fielded cleanly by Clay Badalak, but not able to make the throw.
Yeah,
Cal Brazier can't hold on.
Yeah, it seemed to go right above the first baseman there. And shout out to Kyle Ratliff, too. We saw him sprinting down there. He has some unbelievable speed, one of the fastest players on the team. And he hustled down there to first base because you really never know what's going to happen. You never know when a mistake's going to be made. You never know when a ball's going to be dropped. We saw Maverick Stallings yesterday do that in the ninth inning with 2 outs. I thought game would potentially be over. The first baseman dropped it. Maverick Stallings never gave up and ended up allowing the Copperheads to get on.
So Kyle Ratliff will reach on the error, E3. And that one skips around a little bit before Ulrich's able to corral it, but Ratliff will remain on first base for Josh Steidel. Steidel, in his first appearance, got all the way to second base, drew a walk, and then was left on second. Ratliff fakes the steal attempt as the second pitch in the dirt. So 2-0 for Josh Steidel. Steidel, 285 this year, 4 homers and 14 RBIs. 2-0 pitch misses. Actually, they'll call that a strike, and Kyle Ratliff will take off for second base. That's a stolen base for him. And a 2-1 count for Josh Steidel, no outs. Still a scoreless ball game, going fairly quickly. Only about 40 minutes into this game already into the fourth inning. That one will miss low. So 3-1 to Josh Steidel. Very satisfying to look at Steidel's hits versus plate appearances. He's 20 for 70 on the year. Nice whole numbers to look at as he'll send that one over to Riley Hawthorne at second. Kyle Ratliff will advance 90 feet and now just stands 90 feet away.
Well, Tim, if you have a scorecard bingo, that is 5 4-3 plays on the day. So if you had those 5 4-3s in a row, that's a bingo.
I think we really need to do scorecard bingo for one of these games. As even you and Ethan were talking about it on the broadcast last night, all the different double plays we've seen. We saw the 2-5 double play, the strike him out, tag him out double play that have not seen in a long, I couldn't tell you actually the last time I've seen one of those.
Yeah, we also had a 3-6-3 the other day, which was quite interesting. Maintaining the force out, it was one heck of a play by Mitch Klass.
Stallings chops that one foul, and the count will head to 1-2. With 1 out, Kyle Ratliff just 90 feet away, directly in front of the camera here. And ready to score a run. Be the first run of the game. 1-1 pitch to Stallings in the dirt, but will roll towards third base. So Ratliff will stay put. 2-1 to Maverick Stallings. Maverick Stallings on the year. Hitting 172, 3 RBIs. We'll send that one into the gap, and Kyle Ratliff will come home to score. That'll be the first run of the game off the RBI single from Maverick Stallings. So just as I'm going over his RBI numbers, I'll have to change those on the sheet, make it 4 RBIs now on the year for Maverick Stallings.
Yeah, Tim, I think you've really abandoned that announcer's jinx there. We've seen lots of times where you'll mention something and then the opposite thing happens. Well, now looks like things are popping up towards your way once again. And right when you mention RBIs, we see Maverick Stallings coming in.
Broken bat for Mitch Klass. And the, again, 6-4-3 double play will be completed. Actually, that'll be a 5-4-3 double play. See how they score that. But nonetheless, that's the second double play of the day that Mitch Klass has ground into. But the Copperheads take the lead here in the top of the fourth, courtesy of a Maverick Stallings RBI single. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads baseball on YouTube. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, brought to you by Ohio Health. Copperheads have claimed the lead, actually. First score of the game. Cal Ratliff scored on the Maverick stalling single. Jake Jordan will go back to work here to try to hold that lead. He'll face Nick Wimmers. First pitch, just low for ball number 1. First time at the plate. Wimmers flew out to Jordan Long there at third base after a really nice grab. Reached his hand out and kind of had to like fall forward a little bit for that. Called strike on Wimmers. Evens the count at 1-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. 1-1, fouled back. Crossed the parking lot. Skipped right by the foul pole and flew all the way across the parking lot.
Yeah, did that ricochet twice? I think that ricocheted twice off of the light pole and off of the flagpole. What's the odds of that? Will he do it again? Oh, right out into the parking lot again.
Careful for the cars out there in the parking lot. So we'll do it again here at 1-2. Jake Jordan on the mound. A slow roll chopper to Mitch Class. He'll field that one cleanly. Step on the bag for out number 1.
I really like the consistency from Mitch Class as of lately. It seems like he's been able to settle it.
Or they'll say that went foul.
Very late call in that aspect.
Wimmers was already walking back to the dugout. Not sure what the play is there, but
I don't know about that one, Tim. I really do not. I mean, I feel like Mitch Class, he fielded that slightly in the field of play. Hey, if the umpires want some extra video, as we've been saying all season, we have instant replay right over here. We got everything on video. So, but it looks like Wimmers will get another shot.
Not sure what the call is there, but
1-2.
I guess we'll do it again here at 1-2. He said that one went foul, but not quite sure. Regardless, Jake Jordan winds up, delivers the 1-2, and that one's sent out into center field. And Ratliff loses that one. It gets by him. So Wimmers will head up to second base. And not sure if they'll score that an error or not.
Yeah, it'll be a single and then an error that allows Wimmers to get to second. That's just frustrating for the Copperheads because you're mentally out of that at-bat when you think you have him out and he's already walking out. You're ready for the next guy. And then, lo and behold, he has new life. He gets another chance and takes advantage of it. That's just frustrating for the Copperheads. Tough call. And, again, another example of the Copperheads having to deal with adversity on this season, Tim.
Another tough break for the Copperheads indeed. So now we went from having one out, nobody on, to now runner on second with no outs for Parker Lester. Parker Lester ground out 6-3 in that first inning. second inning, rather. 1-0, just missing for ball number 2. Runner on second. Copperheads lead at 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. After grounding out, Nick Wimmers got a lucky break and able to take advantage of that situation, getting a hit rather through the infield. So he stands on second base, called strike to Parker Lester. Jake Jordan gets the signal and delivers the 2-1, swung on and missed for strike number 2. Will even the count at 2-2. No outs. Parker Lester hitting .307 on the year, has a homer and 13 RBIs. Jake Jordan kicks, deals, misses high and inside for ball number 3. Will load the count. Working against Parker Lester. Runner on second, Nick Wimmers. As the payoff pitch is low, that'll be a walk for Parker Lester. And stepping into the box will be the catcher, Evan Ulrich. So now 2 on and no outs, and this is a dangerous situation for the Copperheads, Sedric.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations where we're going to need some damage control. I mean, you have 2 runners on, nobody out. Of course, the first one is very frustrating. And again, this is one of those situations where leadership will come into play. Copperhead's got to continue trusting their fielding and know that they have the talent to get out of this situation.
First pitch swinging for Evan Ulrich, who also ground out 6-3 in that second inning. So it counts 0-1 to him. Jordan will look back at second. And deliver. Swung on and missed. Well, they'll call it foul tip. But into the glove of Steidel. 0-2 to Evan Ulrich. Evan Ulrich, 263, 3 homers, 11 RBIs on the season. The 0-2 popped up into the net.
Earthquake.
Apologize for all the viewers who get motion sick, as you're probably not enjoying the broadcast here today, as we're stuck up. The camera's kind of stuck up in the net. That way we can get a nice clear view of the field. But the 0-2 pitch sent out into the gap in left field, and Nick Wimmers will get the stop sign at third base as Clayton Hodges got a nice jump on that one. So the bases will be loaded.
Yeah, it was good by Hodges to at least be able to field that cleanly. I mean, you have no option when you're in the outfield but to field it cleanly, and you can try to at least threaten home plate and making a throw over there, and you can help keep the runners at first, second, and third. Also for the Joes, might not be worth even doing anything when you have no outs, 3 runners on. Sack fly is on. Any hit can result in fielder choices that can make it home. But the Copperheads, in any situation where the bases are loaded, at least you have the double play potential. And looks like Coach Lanning's going to want a little bit of a timeout here to talk to his infield, talk to his pitcher, and see how long Jake Jordan can go. He's usually a relief guy. So, again, going 4 innings is pretty solid. See if he can finish through this 4th inning.
Jake Jordan, a guy that has stepped up in big moments for this pitching staff, but in a bit of a jam here right now, as Bennett Clement will step up to the plate with the bases loaded. Of course, Nick Wimmers on third, Parker Lester on second, and Evan Ulrich on first here with no outs. Copperheads desperately holding on to a 1-0 lead. Stallings, the throw over to first base, not in time. And a run will come across to score. That's Nick Wimmers. Will tie this game at 1-0. Still no outs. On the infield single from Bennett Clement.
Oh, game on here in Hamilton. Again, a lot of these two teams, whenever we see Copperheads and Joes in Foundation Field, it's always pretty competitive. And now we're dealing with a little bit of adversity. How can the Copperheads respond? Bases loaded, nobody out. Similar situation. How will they deal with it?
First pitch to Caden Konzak is high for ball number 1. The bases loaded, still no outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The pass ball as the runner's going to come home. No throw from Steidel. Parker Lester comes across the score, and the Hamilton Joes will take a 2-0 lead in this game.
Yeah.
Still no outs as both runners advance to second and third. Ulrich up to third, and Bennett Clement up to second base. That halts the potential for, as you said, Sedric, a double play in the infield. First pitch to Caden Konzak in there for a ball. Just missing outside. Actually, scratch that, make it 3-0 to Caden Konzak. Jake Jordan looks on. Delivers the 3-0 low, and that'll be a 4-pitch walk for Caden Konzak. And now the bases will be reloaded for Cal Brazier.
Yeah, fortunately, that does not score anybody. I thought for a second, I forgot about the pass ball. Each of the runners on first and second advance. But now you're in that dangerous situation again. Nobody out, bases loaded. If you're the Copperheads, you can't afford one of those big innings to happen. It looks like the basis for one of those big innings is set in motion. Can the Copperheads shut the door? Definitely have a long way to go.
Another pass ball, and another run will come home. That makes it 3-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. That was Evan Ulrich came home to score. And the runners advance again to second and third. Bennett Clement on third, Caden Konzak at second for Cal Brazier. Cal Brazier got the day started for the Hamilton Joes, their first hit of the day. Already ahead in the count here, 1-0. With no outs still here in the bottom of the 4th, Copperheads are in desperate need of getting that first out just to kind of halt this momentum of the Hamilton Joes team, who is very capable of scoring a lot of runs really quickly. First pitch, the 1-0 pitch rather, swung on and missed. Will even the count at 1-1. This team already run-ruled the Copperheads in their second matchup of the game. Their first, second, and fourth matchups of the game. As Cal Brazier is going to pop that one up over to Mitch Class. He'll come over to make the catch for out number 1. Gets Cal Brazier on the pop-up. So Clay Badalak will come to the plate now. Badalak, that first time up, reached on a single, but left at second base. And it appears that that will be the end of the day for Jake Jordan. Coach Lanning's going to come out to the mound. And so we'll take a short break here. Actually, we'll go over some scoring real quick as Adam Beery, the big left-hander from Ohio University, hero in the game against the Steam the other day, gets warmed up. Sedric, you want to go over the scoring there?
Yeah, it was an absolute handful there. Nicholas Wimmers reached on got on base on a single, was able to get to second on the error, and when at that point we thought we had a ground out to start it, and it looked like everything was going to be smooth sailing going into this inning. Then we see the call where it was apparently a foul ball when it was called maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds after the play was finished. And again, just tough break for the Copperheads. They had to mentally regroup. Wimmers took advantage of the opportunity and was able to get on base. Parker Lester had a walk, so then you had two guy on first and guy on second. Ulrich singled to load the bases. Then Bennett Clement picked up RBI number 1 on the infield single, and everybody advanced. Then Caden Konzak, at his at-bat, we had Parker Lester come in on a pass ball, and then he ended up walking. And then on Cal Brazier's attempt, we saw another pass ball, which scored Evan Ulrich. So only one of those runs were driven in, but that's how we're at 3-1. Once again, the Copperheads scored at the top of the fourth inning, rather, on a RBI single from Maverick Stallings, scoring Kyle Ratliff.
So Clay Badalak will step into the box, work against Adam Beery. Again, Adam Beery, not only the clutch in the game against the Scouts, came in during the sudden death, also pitched the 9th and 10th innings against the Cincinnati Steam on July 4th and was the hero in that one as well. We'll send that one out to center field, and Ratliff will throw home. The throw will not be in time. So Bennett Clement comes home to score on the RBI sac fly from Clay Badalak. So it's now 4-1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs as all-star outfielder Grant Miller will step up to the plate, working against Adam Beery. Grant Miller, 2 strikeouts on the day, 1 looking and 1 swinging. First pitch from Beery, swung on and missed.
Yep. Beery, one of the most reliable pitchers on this Copperhead squad. So if there's anybody that can help the Copperheads get out of this situation, it is Adam Beery, but he's been put into a very tough spot here on the mound.
The 0-1, swung on and missed again. Nice breaking action from Adam Beery. We saw that breaking ball on the game against the Xenia Scouts on Friday night, and I mean, that breaking ball was untouchable, Sedric.
It was absolutely untouchable. He likes to dial those up in the early pitches of the at-bat because he knows that when he faces a new batter, they're going to be expecting the fastball early on. So dialing it up with a couple of breaking balls can really mix it up. And once he's ahead in the count, he described it as the batter is in the palm of my hands.
Really knowledgeable pitcher, very high IQ guy, 3.43 ERA on the year. 21 innings and 20 strikeouts, looking for his 21st of the year. The 0-2 sent out into shallow center field. That one will drop at the feet of Clayton Hodges. He'll throw home. The tag just past the outstretched glove of Josh Steidel, who did everything he could to try and make that play. But looks like Caden Konzak will come home to score, and the Hamilton Joes will take the 4-1 lead in this one.
Yeah, it's a standing double there for Grant Miller. He hit it in a really good spot. It was a great throw, but again, even better base running by Konzak. He almost kind of dipped inside a little bit. I mean, you have to continue straight on the base path. You can't just go running willy-nilly, but he was able to stay on the line close enough, but also able to evade Steidel just enough and get his right hand on the plate. It's another one of those big innings that the Copperheads have given up, and those have been back-breaking all season long.
At the end of the top of the 4th, when the Copperheads seem to have had a lot of momentum, they have now all but lost it, as Riley Hawthorne will be the ninth batter of the inning. So we'll need to get an out here to avoid batting around in this bottom of the 4th. The 1-0 is high for ball number 2. Rather 3. 3-0 to the all-star second baseman, Riley Hawthorne. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. That one's in there for a strike. 3-1 is the count. 5-1 is the score here in the bottom of the 4th. Hamilton Joes scored all 5 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. Beery looks on, delivers the 3-1 in there for a strike just as Hawthorne started walking down towards first base. So the count will be full. And haven't seen any inconsistent calls yet. Been fairly consistent with the way it's been called. The payoff pitch is fouled back into the parking lot. So we'll do it again here full. But definitely some frustration from this Copperheads squad between the play at first base and a couple of the calls here in this one already. Beery shrugs and delivers a payoff pitch. Just missing the strike zone. I spoke too soon, Sedric. I think that one was a missed call.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I really thought that one was a strike, but again, Copperheads are not going to get any favors thrown at them, especially here on the road at Foundation Field. And the Foundation faithful's got to really be loving this, and the attendance rivalry is. Now they batted around the order. Copperheads got to stop the bleeding, but again, these big innings have hurt them time and time again, especially against the Joes, who are really just showing how dangerous they can be.
First pitch in there for a ball to Nick Wimmers, who got the day started with a single, reached on an error, or got a single, and then reached second base on an error. He'll send that one to Stallings, who will flip it to Carson Shepard on second for out number 3, but not before 5 runs come across for the Hamilton Joes in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 error as well off 5 hits and 5 runs for the for the Joes. When the Copperheads return, we'll see Trey Rucker, Bam Thomas, and Carson Shepard. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 5th inning, joined by Copperheads Director of Player Operations, Trevor Stevens, on the broadcast. He's filling in to give Sedric a little bit of a break here as Trey Rucker will send that one into left field. The left fielder carrying flashes the leather. That's Grant Miller. He'll make the play. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Copperheads have a lot of work to do to get back into this one. Trevor, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, as always.
You are the one that, for maybe Copperheads fans that don't know who you are, you're the Director of Player Operations. And tell us what kind of things that your job entails, what kind of things you do on a day-to-day basis.
For my job, basically, it's mostly before the season with collecting paperwork, reaching out to the players, finding out the information, reserving our buses, and picking mail stops to the location and stuff like that. But it's not, I have end up doing more than just what my job description says. I've been also helping out all over, like running social media, updating the website, writing recap stories, stuff like that. I planned the Tenet Gold event last week, so it's like a bunch of stuff, like other stuff than what my job description basically says.
Bam Thomas sends that one out into center field for a single. Carson Shepard will take that one low. So, yeah, kind of all over the place, Trevor. You've got experience. I know you do good work with the Athens High School social media and sports information over there as well. The 1-0 downtown for a strike will even the count at 1-1 to Carson Shepard. Carson Shepard, in his last plate appearance, had a single and then was stranded on second base. He'll take ball number 2 and make the count 2-1 with 1 out. Bam Thomas over there on first base. Copperheads trail by 4 after a big 5-run fourth inning. Carson Shepard will send that one back to Grant Miller, who has been super busy in these last couple of innings. That's 2 flyouts to him this inning, as the hot dog hitter Jordan Long will come up to the plate now.
It's actually the beer batter.
Oh, the beer batter, yes. Yeah, I'm thinking of, I was going to ask you a question about our hot dog hitter at the field. You got the special music.
Yep, I'm on music. We had a hot dog song that plays. The visiting team gets crazy walk-up songs, crazy sound effects.
Got a whole list of crazy music that the away team gets.
Yeah, they're all basically childhood or TV theme songs with some holiday music in place, 4th of July music in place.
Trey Ruckle takes strike number 2. So 1-2 to Trey Rucker.
That's not Trey.
Jordan Long. Jordan Long, yeah, thank you. 2 outs here in the bottom or the top of the 5th. Trey Rucker's, or Jordan Long, sorry, it's stuck in my head here now. We'll send that one foul. See a bunch of kids running over to race for it. We'll do it again here at 1-2, 2 outs. Bam Thomas, after singling, is over there on first base. Clayton Hodges in the on-deck circle. That one will go foul, and he'll get another crack at it. Seeing the ball really well, but not able to straighten that one out.
The Copperheads have been here before, so 4 runs is not much. We have seen multiple comebacks, and it's somewhat early in the game.
We have, yeah. The 5th inning. Still plenty of time to get things done, but we'll have to wait until the 6th inning to do that. And that's another beer discount, as Jordan Long was that beer batter. So they do it a little bit different than we do over there in Athens. They get 1 chance. We get 1 chance to do it up
They
there,
do
or
it,
sometimes a
yes.
couple. They do it for the
So
entire
what they
game.
do it is the leadoff batter, whoever strikes out on that team, and the first strikeout starts it, and every time he comes back up, he becomes the beer batter, which is unlike ours where we pick the second batter of the 5th inning, I want to say, and then if they strike out, and by doing ours, we can get a chance to pump up the crowd more instead of just doing it every 2 innings. You might bat around so you have it again the same inning.
We saw the Hamilton Joe's Bennett Clement become kind of public enemy number 1 when he was the hot dog hitter, but a similar situation. He was the second batter of that 6th inning. I believe,
Yep.
is when the hot dog hitter was. And he did everything he could not to strike out.
I think he bunted attempt that went foul, and then either he bunted attempt and then got out, and then just stared down the crowd and our dugout, and our fans did not. And some team and our fans did not like it.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun little situation. We'll take a quick break here as Adam Beery gets warmed up. And when we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, we'll see Parker Lester, Evan Ulrich, and Bennett Clement. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 5th today brought to you by Jackie O's Brewery. For Copperheads fans over the age of 21, highly recommend trying out that Homer's Hazy IPA.
We also sell at the stadium, so Andy can get around Athens as well.
Yeah, it's Brew Week down here in Athens, so Copperheads fans, be sure to head out around town and try all the local craft beer.
Including Bobbins Stadium. Bobbins is a beer week stop this week, and we have home games on Wednesday night and Thursday night.
Should be a good time. 2-1 pitch to Parker Lester in there for a strike. Evens the count at 2-2. Adam Beery came in last inning in relief of Jake Jordan. Jake Jordan's final numbers on the day: 3 1/3, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikes. Parker Lester will send that one into the gap for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Evan Ulrich will come up now. Last time Ulrich was able to, he walked and then was able to score in that big 5-run top or bottom of the 5th inning. Sends that one foul. Nice play there by the Hamilton Joes coach. Coach Thaman. Coach Thaman actually used to be a player for the Hamilton Joes, won a title there, and then won a title as the coach for the Hamilton Joes last season.
I remember you guys saying that off air the first time we came here.
Yeah, he was telling us that one of the first situations that we've seen, talking to Joe's broadcaster, Luke West-Poley, Blake as well up there. That one's outside, so it'll be 1-2 to Parker Lester.
All I'm going to say, Tim, is I think Hamilton's my favorite road park to come out here. They have a nice crowd. They have a big church and a nice turf field here. It's one of my, even though it's one of the medium to long range trips we take, it's one of my favorite places to come out here.
The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, so that's a strikeout for Adam Beery. Gets Evan Ulrich swinging. Evan Ulrich's first strikeout of the day. And now steps up Bennett Clement, who does have a strikeout and a single in this one. One out. And Parker Lester standing on third base. Joined by Director of Player Operations, Trevor Stevens, coming to did a couple innings, or at least a little bit of this game. Doing broadcasts, he sometimes fills in with his roles over there at Athens High School.
Yep, I have filled in on Athens High School's broadcast. I also do, like you said earlier, I do their social media as well. Athens just hired a new AD last week. That was in the paper.
Probably a little bit of a busy afternoon for you then, getting everything
Yep.
set up and getting all those interviews squared away with him. High school football just getting ready to get started. Went up on my off day last week to sit down with Sheridan coach Paul Culver. Had a nice conversation with him. That interview will be coming out probably in the next week, if I had to say, but always great to get back into high school football season.
Absolutely.
Big time of the year for the people of Southeast Ohio and really all around the state. Ohio, as a state in general, just really big into high school football. As the 1-2 is high to Bennett Clement. Clement does have a hit against Adam Berry. 11 RBIs on the season. He's got a runner on first. He'll send that one down the right field line once again. We'll do it again here at 2-2. Bennett Clement, another one of those guys to score in the bottom of the fourth inning. Reached on a single. Beery will look on. Deliver the 2-2. Is that one sent on a line over to Maverick Stallings? The throw back to first is in time. So almost had a 6-3 double play on that one. Would have been fun for the bingo scorecard, but just an out. Fly out to, or a line out to 6. Maverick Stallings. Stepping in now, Caden Konzak, right fielder. Caden Konzak on the day. A walk and a foul out. So officially 0 for 1. But was able to reach base. First pitch to him, sent out into right field. Bam Thomas gets underneath it, makes the catch. And that is out number 3. So no runs this inning for the Hamilton Joes. Beery able to take care of business. And we'll head to the top of the 6th inning. Top of the 6th inning for the Copperheads will give us Clayton Hodges, Kyle Ratliff, and Josh Steidel. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 6th inning, Copperheads still trail 5-1. Clayton Hodges sent that first pitch foul, and will now send the second pitch foul. So quickly 0-2 for Clayton Hodges. Copperheads trail 5-1 after scoring in the top of the 4th and then allowing 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Hodges will take the ball, and the count will be 1-2 to Hodges. That one gets fouled out again, out of play. And Hodges will stay alive, doing his best to do so here in the top of the 6th inning. Going to have to score pretty quickly if the Copperheads would like to get back into this one before the Hamilton Joes start to dig into that bullpen.
Most certainly, and unlike a lot of other teams where when another team gets to a bullpen, it's usually a problem. It's usually a time where the Copperheads can take a lot of advantage, Tim. The Joes just have so much depth with their pitchers. I mean, this is not even their ace starter.
That one is sent down the first baseline, and the first base umpire is going to call that one foul when it was quite clearly a fair ball. Went past first base on that inside part of the bag. So Hodges a little bit frustrated. You can just kind of see the frustration from the Copperheads now. That's 2 straight innings where a call has been made on that first baseline about whether a ball is fair or foul, and has negatively impacted the Copperheads. So we'll see if they can battle through it. Hodges will take ball number 3, and the count will be loaded for Clayton Hodges.
Again, just adversity here. It's a very thankless job to be an umpire. So, again, can't fault them too much.
Hodges goes down on strikes. So 1 out now here in the bottom of, or the top of the 6th, rather. Copperheads still trail 5-1.
Yeah, and that's especially frustrating at bat. It's kind of the inverse of the Wimmer situation where you think you've hit a single, you already worked really hard at this at bat to get a single in the first place, and then what happens? It gets taken away from you, and then you have to go back to bat trying to replicate what you did the first time already.
Yeah, it mentally kind of messes with your head a little bit, whether that's you're on offense or you're on defense. Thought maybe you give up a big hit or allow a big hit, and it just kind of messes with you a little bit. It'll be 1-1 to Kyle Ratliff. Ratliff, the only run to score today off the RBI from Maverick Stallings. That one is high. So the count's 2-1. Josh Steidel, or to Kyle Ratliff. Josh Steidel awaiting in the on-deck circle just to the right of your screen. 2-1 pitch, sent again on a rope down the line, and the count will be 2-2. Kyle Ratliff, of course, an all-star alternate in Tuesday's Prospect Showcase.
Yeah, one of the biggest snubs, in my opinion. I think it should have been no doubt, especially when you're the home run leader, no doubt starting center fielder. He's been absolutely exceptional for the Copperheads all season long. And I remember him telling me early this season that his goal is to be drafted into the major leagues. And again, throughout the span of this season, you start to believe it more and more, not only because of his play on the field, but also just his leadership, his presence, as well as just the mental strength. Again, there's been a lot of adverse situations, a lot of times where the team has depended on him to come through, and his faith in God and his mental strength has really helped him get to the point where he is one of the players where we were talking about Ring of Honor potentially being at it for the Copperheads, and Kyle Ratliff being one of those names put up there alongside, of course, Blaine Krim as well, who's with the Rangers organization doing well.
Got Kyle Ratliff swinging on a bit of a breaking ball for strike number 3. That's the 5th strikeout of the day for Brock Narker. 2 down quickly for the Copperheads here in the top of the 6th inning. They trail by 4 after a big fourth inning from the Hamilton Joes. Josh Steidel will step up to the plate now in his first appearance. Reached on a walk and then ground out to second baseman, but was able to advance Ratliff to third, which allowed Stallings to score him. That one just misses Steidel. Looks like it hit him off. He says it hit him off the elbow guard, but umpire will let him get back in there. 2-0 pitch, low for ball number 3. It's 3-0 to Josh Steidel. Looking for his second walk, maybe, of the day. And there it is, a 4-pitch walk to Josh Steidel. So 1 on, 2 outs for Maverick Stallings. Maverick, of course, the RBI single of Kyle Ratliff, or scoring Kyle Ratliff in that first inning, or fourth inning. Goodness.
Yeah, I mean, this game is going by so fast, Tim. They all kind of start to gel together. There's been a fair share of 1, 2, 3 innings, or 1, 2, 3, 4 innings here for the Copperheads. Well, again, it just seems that one big inning has been the only thing keeping the Copperheads behind. We saw it against the Steam as well, where they can outplay a team for about 8.5 innings, just that one bad half, killing them.
The 0-1 from Stallings is chopped over to the first baseman, Cal Brazier, who will step on the bag for out number 3. So the Copperheads go 1, 2, 3, 4, as you said, Sedric, and not able to get a run back here in the top of the 6th. So they'll have to hold strong on defense. When we return, we will see Cal Brazier, Clay Badalak, and then the top of the order, Grant Miller. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. We've got a bit of a special appearance here. Maverick Stallings. Yes. Breaking a bat for the people. That one broke on his hit there. Showing off his strength a little bit, flexing for the people as he'll head back out there to shortstop. Wanted us to come back from break real quick just to show everybody that. So I guess we'll take another quick break. See if I can maybe take that one home as a souvenir. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th brought to you by OUCU Financial, where you belong. So a new pitcher for the Copperheads. It'll be Andrew Yeary. He's coming in for Adam Beery. Yeary, a couple of appearances on the year. The freshman right-hander from Medicine State Community College. sixth appearance, or rather seventh appearance of the year. As that one will be sent past Maverick Stallings, and it'll be a leadoff single for Cal Granger.
Yeah, we may have seen a very slow start from the Joes where it seemed like the Copperheads really had them figured out. But ever since that fourth inning hit, they've been nothing short of terrific with their bats.
Stepping into the box now, Clay Badalak. Badalak, pretty decent day at the plate. We've seen him reach on a single and then had that sacrifice to score a runner. He'll take ball number 1 from Andrew Yeary. 1-0 is low. Yeary will look on and deliver the 2-2 as the runner goes. Steidel, the throw, not in time. Badalak got a nice, or Granger rather, got a nice jump on that one. And now there will be a runner on second. And the count is 3-0 to Clay Badalak. Steidel going to go up to the mound, talk to his pitcher, make sure that everything is good. One thing Yeary's talked about is, after his appearances, to struggle with the walks a little bit and wanting to limit those and just continue to pound that strike zone. 3-0 pitch, just outside. Well, actually, that might have been the 2-0 pitch. Looks like that will make it 3-0. 3-1. Pitch, low, and that'll be ball number 4. So runners on second and third now. Cal Granger on second. Clay Badalak on first base. And that'll be the top of the order. The all-star outfielder, Grant Miller. Grant Miller, 2 strikeouts and a walk, single. Double, excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm just running through all of them. The writing's a little bit small on the scoreboard, or the scorebook that we have sitting here.
Of course, it doesn't help that I write big as well, so it makes things kind of bloop together. It could be a double, a single, a walk, a hit by pitch. I'll try to be a little more precise on that circle.
Nonetheless, 1 for 3 on the day is Grant Miller. We'll see him on Tuesday as well as all-star alternate, as he'll send that one over to Carson Shepard. Correction, Maverick Stallings had a better angle at it. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on second and third, or first and second, for the Hamilton Joes, who are threatening again after that big 5th inning put them up 5-1.
Yes, they are. One thing to note, though, both pitchers in this game right now, both from Fairborn, Ohio, potentially were high school teammates, as Brock Narker is a little bit older than Yeary. He's a junior, and Yeary is a freshman.
Pass ball will advance the runners now to second and third. As Yeary will try and work things out here, get things going a little bit. Has pitched 5 2/3 innings this year for the Copperheads with 5 strikeouts. And showing improvement. His first couple of outings were a little bit rough, and he kind of knew it too. I talked to him a little bit after and said he hadn't played in a while since coming up from Edison. He'll hit that one off of his foot. And the count will be 1-1 for Riley Hawthorne. Hawthorne also an all-star for the Hamilton Joes, who have 11 all-stars as a part of the representing the GLSCL South. Sedric Granger and I will be there at the All-Star game on Tuesday. Sedric will be writing a couple different articles, getting to talk to some players, some coaches, write about the event in general. Should be a great time. And I'll be helping out, doing game day staff type stuff, a bit different of something I normally do, but definitely interesting. Always willing to help out. It should be a good time. Anybody interested in coming out to the event, it'll be at Prisco Park down in Mason, Ohio. Attendance to the event is free, and the first pitch is at 7:05. Hawthorne will send that one out to center field. Ratliff underneath it, and there will be a tag from home. The play, not in time, as Cal Brazier will come in on the sac fly from Riley Hawthorne. And the Hamilton Joes will extend their lead to 6-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, still one heck of a throw from Ratliff there, as it was just about a quarter of a second there from being in time. But again, just tough break. Good speed from Cal Brazier all along the base paths. Had the stolen base at second, beating the throw from Steidel. And then getting home on a sac fly, not easy as well, as you're kind of in a race against the clock. So now it's a 6-1 deficit for the Copperheads. First time we've seen the Joes put up more than 4 runs here at Foundation Field against the Copperheads, and they're trying to add on more to it.
That one will be sent out to center field. Ratliff will flash the leather and make the grab. So only 1 run for the Hamilton Joes here in the bottom of the 6th inning, but they will extend their lead to 6-1 when we return. For the Copperheads, we'll see Mitch Class, Trey Rucker, and Bam Thomas. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperhead Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 7th, new pitcher for the Hamilton Joes will be Zach Breeden.
Yeah, Zach Breeden, he's made an appearance against the Copperheads back on June 16th in a game the Copperheads wanted to forget. He got the win, pitching 2 innings, only allowed 1 run, one of them being earned, and only allowed 3 hits. So pretty solid guy. His ERA is 4.02, but again, it's very rare to not see a solid guy on the pitching staff of the Hamilton Joes, who are one of those teams that is, if we were to speculate who might be in the championship if the season would have ended today, Joes and Monarchs would be the 2 front runners, as the Joes sit at 2nd place. Notably, they don't have the tiebreaker against the Licking County Settlers.
Mitch Class will go down on strikes. He's a bit of a tough day at the plate today for Mitch Class. Ground into 2 double plays and now a strikeout. So Trey Rucker will step into the box, trying to get things started. Copperheads need 5 runs in these next 3 innings to crawl back into this one. Trey Rucker will take ball number 1. Trey Rucker recently transferred schools, so congratulations to him. San June College. I believe it's the Sharks. Is that what it is?
I believe so. San Jacinto.
Ground that one out. It'll be a 5-3. 2 outs now for the Copperheads, and that'll send Bam Thomas up to the plate. Bam Thomas got his first hit at the plate since July 1st. So potentially breaking out of a bit of a cold streak for him. Been making a couple of adjustments to try and get out of that slump and finally found something that worked for him, Sedric.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, again, having that many days where you don't get any hits, it's really hard to maintain confidence throughout it. So just big shout out to Bam Thomas for just continuing to stay consistent, do his best that he can do. And again, sorry for the earthquake as we have a lady taking some pictures here of the Hamilton Joes. But for Bam Thomas, again, maybe he can build off of that one hit.
Behind in the count 1-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. 1-2. Sent foul. And it looks like it will be caught. Sorry, a bit of a blind spot down there. Caden Konzak will make the catch. And Copperheads go 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. When we get back to the top or the bottom of the 7th, we'll see Parker Lester, Evan Ulrich, and Bennett Clement. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th brought to you by Ohio Health. Thank you to Ohio Health for all that you do to support the Southern Ohio Copperheads. First batter of the inning, Parker Lester. He will take ball number 1 from Andrew Yeary. Yeary in his second inning of work. Gave up 1 run in the 6th inning, as he'll skip that one past him for ball number 2.
Yeah, for the Copperheads, this is the danger zone. We've seen multiple times where the Joes and Copperheads have played, both of those times being out at Bob Wren Stadium, where it was about a 5-1, 6-1 type of game. And then in the 7th inning or the 8th inning, the Joes put up a 5 spot and closed the game right there. So Copperheads, they got to avoid that situation from happening if they want to try to push this to 9 and give themselves a shot. That'll help, though.
Chopped over to Carson Shepard, who gets it to Mitch Class for out number 1. So 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Evan Ulrich, the catcher, will come up to the plate now, trying to be the first base runner of the inning. Yeary kicks, deals. That one sent down the first baseline, or the third baseline, foul. As that one gets into the corner, Hodges trying to find it and gets it in, and that will be a stand-up double for Evan Ulrich. Gets the crowd pumped up a little bit in this one. That one right there, very similar to the one that Clayton Hodges hit down the first baseline that was called foul, but this one called fair. Skipped back over into the bullpen area of Hamilton before Clayton Hodges was able to corral that.
Well, Tim, you know the saying, life's not fair? I feel like the Copperheads are really experiencing that on many levels here. Is, again, one of those judgment calls that could have gone either way, and Copperheads maybe have thought, like, hey, for Clayton Hodges, that was a foul ball, so okay. And then they just continued playing. They kept running the bases, and good work from Ulrich for not even hesitating.
Bennett Clement swings on that one, and will go down in the hole 0-1 with one out and one on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Yuri will take a look back at second. Deliver the 0-1. Swung on and missed by Bennett Clement. Chased 2 in a row down there at his knees. And behind in the count, 0-2 now. Andrew Yuri, 1 and 1/3 inning of work here. 2 hits, a run, and a walk. So he'll send that one out to Carson Shepard, who dives and makes one of the best plays we've seen all year. Superman dives for that one. Catches the ball in the air for out number 2, potentially saving a run there, Sedric.
Yeah, that was not just good, but terrific. What a catch out there by Carson Shepard, the Ohio Bobcat, showing that he's got some hops. He can jump out there like Superman, making the catch, saving the day for your Southern Ohio Copperheads. Still got a lot of work to do, though, down 6-1. Maybe that's something they can build off of, Tim. Who knows?
Kind of halts the momentum of this Hamilton Joes team. Caden Konzak will step up with 2 outs as that one skips up for ball number 1. 2 outs. Runner on second is Evan Ulrich, the catcher. Yuri will look back at him and deliver the 1-1. That is fouled up and out of play for strike number 1. Evens the count here at 1-1. Konzak hitting 190 on the year. 9 RBIs. Drew a walk earlier in this game as well. Just outside for ball number 2. 2-1 is the count for Caden Konzak. Andrew Yuri looking to get out of this inning. Another scoreless inning for him. As that one's chopped over to Carson Shepard, who throws to Mitch Class, makes the play for out number 3. So no runs off 1 hit for the Hamilton Joes here in the bottom of the 7th. But as we head to the top of the 8th, the Copperheads still need 5 runs to get things done here in Hamilton. When we come back, we will see Carson Shepard and then the top of the lineup, Jordan Long and Clayton Hodges. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 8th, Carson Shepard working against Zach Breeden, who delivers the first pitch, swung on and missed for strike number 1. Carson Shepard down in the hole, 0-1. And we'll take ball number 1 to even the count at 1-1. Looks like we'll have a pinch hitter for Jordan Long. It'll be Diego Ortiz, awaits in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, we saw Diego Ortiz come in as well in relief of Josh Steidel in that game against the Mariners. So a couple of guys got some opportunities to pinch hit late in the game.
Takes a very similar pitch to ball number 2 for strike number 2. So the count's even for Carson Shepard. And the 2-2 pitch is just outside for strike number, for ball number 3, and will load the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch in the dirt, and Shepard does what he does best for this team, Sedric, and that's get on base.
Get on base. That's the name of the game for Carson Shepard. He's kind of started to take over the game a little bit over the last inning and a half or last half inning. Of course, he had that great defensive bottom of the 7th where he counted for every single out, couple of 4-3 plays, and then, of course, the amazing catch he made on the line out. And now does a good job getting on base. So if the Copperheads want to get back in this game, they're going to have to start putting together some runs, and it can all start here with Diego Ortiz.
Diego Ortiz get his first crack at it. Stand in and take strike number 1. Diego Ortiz on the year from Diego Ortiz from UAB, hitting 090. Went 0 for 1 last night, but has had a couple of big RBIs.
Yep, had a big one against the Mariners. That was probably his most notable one.
One misses high. We'll make the count 2-1 to Diego Ortiz. Clayton Hodges awaits in the on-deck circle. So Ortiz pinch hitting for Jordan Long. As Ortiz is going to send that one out into center field. Center fielder going back. Makes the catch. Bennett Clement nearly fallen over, but makes that catch. And Carson Shepard had to put the brakes on and head back to first base. But a really nice hit ball from Diego Ortiz, Sedric.
Yeah, it was up there in the air. Might have had a chance to be able to get out of here if it could have just carried a little bit more, but fortunately, just not on her side there. It's still a good piece of hitting there from Ortiz, seeing it well.
So Clayton Hodges will foul that one back. And the count will be 0-1 to Hodges. Hodges, pair of flyouts and a strikeout in this one, so looking for his first hit. Of course, Hodges fell victim to the missed call on the single he sent to first bases. He's going to send that one out into the outfield. Bennett Clement again having to hustle over back to the warning track to make a catch on that one. Showing off the skills out there in center field. 2 straight flyouts to Bennett Clement on opposite sides of center field. One to left, and then, of course, one to right center field for the 2 outs in this one.
And Copperheads still with 1 runner on, but they only have 4 outs left in this game. And a game that's been very quick once again, only 2 hours on the dot into this, and we are in the top of the 8th inning. Copperheads need to get something going, almost same thing, kind of a crock-potting situation. I describe that as getting slowly beat over the span of the game where you put up 1 run, there's a little bit of competitive nature, but again, when we look at this game, you take out that 4th inning, that bottom of the 4th, it's a 1-1 game. Just that one bad inning is the only thorn in the side.
And been a constant thorn in the side of the Copperheads all season, that big run inning. Something that we did not see at all during that 4-game win streak. As Kyle Ratliff down 0-2 now. Something that they were really good about during that win streak is he'll send that one deep into center field. Bennett Clement going all the way back. That one will hit off the batter's eye. And Carson Shepard hustling will come home to score. So that's an RBI double for Kyle Ratliff and a much-needed run in this one, Sedric.
Definitely much needed. And honestly, if that just went about 3 feet to the left, it would have been home run number 7, tying Blaine Crim's record. It was right there, but of course, the batter's eye had to rob him.
Kyle Ratliff pumped up out there at second base, and Josh Steidel is going to come up and try and add to this run total. Copperheads shorten the lead to just 4 now and behind 6-2.
Yeah, third double at this stadium for Kyle Ratliff. He's had a few doubles on the season, but most of them coming here. There's 5 of them. Make that 6 now.
And a tough break for for Kyle Ratliff is the batter's eye here is the highest part of the center field wall. And as you said, if it had been about 3 or 4 feet to the left, that ball would have been gone. Got a really good look at it. And then, of course, timed it up perfectly to put that 390 feet out there to center field. Josh Steidel, 1-1 is the count for him. So he'll think about stepping out. Chooses to stay in here with 2 outs. Working against Zach Breeden. Delivers. Check swing didn't go. Needs to bring that one down a little bit, back into the zone. And the count's 2-1 for Josh Steidel.
Yeah, we've seen Steidel kind of return to his early season form after having the mid-season slump, and he's been doing a good job getting really back onto it. As we said earlier, has a hot streak batting .357 over the last 7 days. And we hope that he's doing okay. We see a little bit of padding on his right side, of course, to, again, prevent balls being hit. But we saw that situation happen where he got hit in his back where there was no padding whatsoever. Definitely a very painful spot.
Steidel's going to rocket that one into right field. Ratliff will get the breaks over there at third base, but that's a single for Josh Steidel, and that'll bring up Maverick Stallings, the guy who had the RBI to score the first run of the game. Similar situation. We had Ratliff on third base, and Maverick Stallings was able to hit him in to score. But with 2 outs, going to have to put a ball in play as the Copperheads are showing signs of life, something that they've done all year. As you and Ethan said multiple times on the broadcast last night, Sedric, this team refuses to lose easy.
Yeah, and quit is not in their vocabulary here in Southern Ohio, and we're hoping the Copperheads can be able to put together a bit of a rally. You can't afford to leave anybody on base, and when we think about the context of the season, this is at a big crossroads here. I mean, you only have 11 games left this season. You're down by 4.5 games. You're playing against the top 2 teams in the division that currently have the playoff spots. You don't win any of these series. If you lose 3 straight, it's pretty much a wrap on the season. Of course, anything can still happen, but you'll fall below 4 or 5 games with only 9 to go, which is very brutal for the Copperheads. So you have no choice but to get a win here on the road in Hamilton and get the series to 2-3. We already saw the Joes win 3 of these games. They couldn't take care of business at home, but we'll see if the Copperheads can try to take care of business on the road and go 2 for 3 here at Foundation Field.
Stallings in the on-deck circle. Stallings at the plate takes strike number 1. So the count's 3-1 to him. And Ian Crump is in the on-deck circle. He'll be pinch hitting for Mitch Class. 3-1 pitch to Stallings is a foul tip back into Wimmers, who's going to kind of shake that one off a little bit. And the count will be full for Maverick Stallings with Kyle Ratliff on second or on third, Josh Steidel on first. 2 outs. Copperheads trail by 4. Desperately need to at least get 1 or 2 more back in this inning, Sedric, as the Joes will have 1 and potentially 2 more chances to add to their run total.
Of course, yeah. Think of a steal situation here would probably be a smart decision. It looks like Breeden's also on the same page of where we're at in the broadcast booth as he does a pickoff attempt. But, hey, if Steidel can go after second, you might see a throw to second, and Ratliff has the speed to make it home. So could be to the Copperheads' advantage.
Payoff pitch to Stallings is high, so he'll march down to first base. Steidel advances to second, and Ian Crump will be the one to get a chance to swing at it with the bases loaded here in the bottom or the top of the 8th inning. Hamilton, Ohio, Foundation Field. As Copperheads trail 6-2 against the Hamilton Joes. Tim Hanna alongside Sedric Granger. Got to see the third member of our team last night, Ethan Sargent, do what he does best up there in Hamilton. Gave me a much-needed day off. Got to go visit some friends I haven't seen for a while. Always nice to see those guys. So,
of course, you're definitely missed in the broadcast booth, Tim.
but that is the one nice thing, and we talked about maybe potentially giving you a day off here in the future as well, just to kind of rest and relax as you've been super busy with that, getting that journalism workshop done as well. But a 1-1 count to Ian Crump. That one will be inside for strike number 2. So Copperheads down to their last strike in this one. This inning, rather, top of the 8th. With the bases loaded and leaving him loaded here, Sedric would not do well as he'll foul that one back into the fence.
Yeah, not at all. And again, if you can either force a walk in this situation or just find a way to get a hit, it's been tough for Ian Crump on the season, averaging just 100 for his batting average. But if he can be able to do that and be able to come through for the Copperheads, this could really become a big moment in the season. We're at a crossroads. The destiny is going to be written right here.
1-2 pitch popped up, and so we'll do it again at 1-2. Yeah, a really critical point of the season. This is games tonight and tomorrow against the Licking County Settlers are going to determine how far the Copperheads are able to go. As the 1-2 again fouled. Ian Crump doing a good job staying alive here, seeing the pitch and just making enough contact to stay alive until he can find that timing, find his pitch that he wants, maybe score a couple of these runs. Crump is looking for his first RBI on the year as well, too. Swung on and missed for strike number 3. So the Copperheads leave them loaded and go down with only 1 run here in the top of the 8th. So when we return in the bottom of the 8th for the Hamilton Joes, we'll see Cal Brazier, Clay Badalak, and the top of the order, Grant Miller. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 8th inning at Foundation Field, Hamilton, Ohio. Hamilton Joes lead it 6-2. The pitcher for the Copperheads will be Matt Nolan. His first pitch from him in there for a ball. Nolan struggled a little bit in his previous appearance.
Yeah, he pitched 3 innings, allowed 3 runs, but 2 of them being earned. 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout at Jazz. One of the biggest issues, though, for him this year has been the walks. His strikeout-to-walk ratio is 2-6. And if he wants to be able to keep this game within striking distance for the Copperheads, he's going to have to throw strikes, for lack of a better term.
3 straight balls for Nolan. We'll get Cal Brazier to a 3-0 count. No outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Copperheads trail by 4 as a 3-0 pitch in there for a strike. Just announced the 50-50 winner here, or split the pot, if you will. And got the crowd lively as Nolan has worked himself to a full count against Cal Brazier. Cal Brazier, very productive day at the plate as he'll pop that one up. Steidel coming over, looking at it, and that'll hit the top of the dugout. And we'll roll, looks like back behind us. We'll do it again here. Full, actually it sat on top of the Copperheads dugout and rolled out onto the field. Trey Rucker making a quick play on it. So the payoff pitch just missing on the inside part of the plate, and that'll be a walk for Cal Brazier.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it off to Nolan, though, for doing a good job. It was a 3-0 count. He worked it back into a more favorable count, 3-2, and then the pop fly just didn't go our way, just barely missing, staying inside. Steidel would have had a chance at it if it would have stayed inside, but fortunately went to our dugout, and that's how this book has unfolded.
Clay Badalak step up to the plate now as Nolan delivers the first pitch in the dirt for strike number 1, or for ball number 1.
Yeah, Clay Badalak's been a very dangerous bat. Had a single, a sac fly, and a walk. So again, just doing damage in 3 different ways there, whether that's getting on base by a walk, getting on base by smacking baseballs in the center field, as well as the sacrifice fly, being able to help score his teammate. And all of those runs have been important in this 6-2 game for the Joes and the Copperheads in the attendance bowl, or attendance robbery, as I like to call it.
2-0 pitch in there for a strike for Matt Nolan, working against Cal Brazier, the number 9, or Clay Badalak, the number 9 hitter. That one misses outside, so 3-1 count for Brazier, or for Badalak. Cal Brazier, the one on first base. No outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That one in there for a strike on a bit of a delayed call from the umpire. Nonetheless, that will load the count at 3-2, the second straight loaded count we've got here in this inning. Nolan, the payoff pitch, fouled back into the net. And we'll do it again. Full. Cooled off wonderfully here in Hamilton tonight. Down into the mid-70s, as it was a scorcher when we showed up here. About 85 at first pitch now, down to about 74, 75.
Yeah, it's feeling real good out here. Hope that Nolan's also feeling pretty good out there at his pitching position. Also want to know every time the foul balls go back into the net, it reverberates and shakes the camera a little bit.
Rung him up, strike number 3, and that's a strikeout for Matt Nolan.
Huge, huge strikeout. So again, we've seen multiple payoff pitches come in. Nolan, now he's doing 50% there. It's been a coin flip, heads and tails. And he comes up there with a huge strikeout looking. And it was a little bit of a later call from the umpire. I got nervous that it was a walk, and then we saw him make the sign. Runner goes.
Runner goes. The tag, not in time, just barely off the mark for Carson Shepard on the tag.
Yeah, we're seeing Granger show some really great speed. That's the second time he's stolen second base on the day, and he also benefit off of a sacrifice fly. He can sure fly out there for the Hamilton Joes, who are looking anything but average right now in this inning.
Two one is the count for Grant Miller. Three one is the count for Grant Miller. Grant Miller on the day, a pair of strikeouts, a fly out, and a walk. Runner goes to third. The throw not in time as we see a new third baseman, Clayton Hodges, playing first base for the first time this year. A couple of defensive switches. Diego Ortiz out there in left and Ian Crump out in right. Bam Thomas will come in from right field to play first base. As we're starting to get a couple more guys in here. So runners on first and third with one out. Riley Hawthorne comes in and takes ball number one from Nolan. Cal Brazier just 90 feet away on third base. And Grant Miller over on first base. 1-0 pitch from Nolan. Misses again for a ball. So 2-0 to Riley Hawthorne. And pitch count already starting to get up for Matt Nolan. This will be his 20th pitch of the inning on the way here. That one sent out to left field and out of play. But nonetheless, for strike number one, 2-1. 2-1 to Riley Hawthorne. Hawthorne on the day. Trio of flyouts and a strikeout. As that one skips behind Josh Steidel, and another run will come across here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Hamilton Joes will extend their lead 7-2 over the Copperheads after the score on the wild pitch from Cal Brazier.
Yeah, Brazier, I mean, he set himself up to be in position to do that. He stole two bases, stole second, stole third, and gave himself an opportunity to be in scoring position almost on his own on the base paths. So, again, his expertise at running the base paths has really benefited him and his squad, counting for 2 runs for the Joes.
So still a 3-1 pitch to Riley Hawthorne, and he'll draw a walk. So that's the third walk of the day for Matt Nolan. So Hawthorne will advance down to second.
Yeah, bring on a Wimmers, who's also been very dangerous with yet another at-bat. He had a fly-out, a single, and then hit into a fielder's choice and a fly-out. But again, that single being very notable because he was able to get all the way around and got run number 1 of the day for the Joes, and it started an avalanche, which scored 5 runs in that bottom of the 4th inning. Now it's led to a total of 7 on the day as we stand at 7-2 here in Hamilton.
Nolan looks on, delivers the 1-0 high for ball number 1. Nolan struggling a little bit to locate the strike zone. 9 strikes to just 14 balls to just 9 strikes. Already has a trio of walks. That one's in there for a strike, and we'll even the count at 1-1. Hawthorne looking for, or rather Wimmers, the designated hitter. He'll send that one out into center field. That one drops. It didn't look like, or it looks like Ratliff wasn't able to see that one, as not one, but 2 runners will come across in the inning, back-to-back for the Hamilton Joes. On the stand-up double from Nick Wimmers, and that will make the score 9-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A really nice piece of hitting by Nick Wimmers.
Yeah, it was very impressive, hitting it an absolute bolt out there to right center field. It was a very tough position for Kyle Ratliff from his center field spot to be able to get there no matter how fast he would have run. And again, both of those runners, they almost came in only about 2 seconds apart as they showed some great speed around the base paths. And now Copperheads are in a lot of trouble here on the road, down 2-9 now to the Joes with 1 runner on second. So good work from Wimmers, driving in a pair of runners, adding to his day. More RBIs for the Joes.
Nolan misses inside for ball number 1. Working against Parker Lester. Parker Lester on the day with a couple of ground outs and a pair of singles. Scored in that big 4th inning, as well as another pass ball will advance Wimmers 90 feet to third base now. And Parker Lester ahead in the count 2-0. It's a 9-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Nolan will look on and deliver a pitch in there for a strike. That one is sent on a line out to Carson Shepard for out number 2. That's the second fly out to Shepard we've seen. That has been really right to him, kind of making some athletic plays, showing off his athleticism. Stepping up for the Hamilton Joes will be Evan Ulrich. Ulrich having a pretty great day at the plate. Ulrich with a single, a double, a strikeout, and a ground out. Was another one of those runners to come across and score in the bottom of the 4th inning. He'll pop that one up, and Bam Thomas tracking back to get it. And the catch is made for out number 3. So 3 runs come across in the bottom of the 8th off 2 hits and a couple of walks for the Hamilton Joes. When we return, we'll see Trey Rucker, Bam Thomas, and Carson Shepard. Copperheads need 7 runs here, and they'll only have 3 outs to do it. But we've seen crazier things happen in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. So stick around, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 9th. You're listening to Southern Ohio Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. It's do or die time here at Foundation Field. Copperheads will need 7 runs to get things done, or to force a bottom of the 9th against the Hamilton Joes. Trey Rucker will swing at that one and fall behind 0-1. It'll be Trey Rucker, Bam Thomas, and Carson Shepard. And then, of course, if we get past that, it'll be the top of the order for the Copperheads. Trey Rucker will take ball number 1. New pitcher for the Copperheads, and one new pitcher for the Joes, and one the Copperheads have had success against. Sedric?
Yeah, Jacob Beal. He did play in that first matchup of the season where the Copperheads won 7-4. Beal got the loss as he pitched 1 in the 3rd innings, giving up 4 runs. It was one of the big innings where we saw Ratliff double and Hodges also get a triple and able to get around.
Rucker, a slow roller over to third base. Parker Lester able to make the play. And now just 2 outs left in this one as Bam Thomas will step up to the plate.
Yeah, big danger zone. Beal has a chance to redeem himself against the Copperheads from that earlier loss.
A well-hit ball by Trey Rucker, just not able to find a gap. Bam Thomas, a guy that's had a couple of singles, or a single today. He's going to send that one out to shallow left field. That ball is carrying and drops right into the outstretched glove of Clay Battleaxe. So now only 1 more out left in this one. Copperheads need 7 runs. And it'll all be up to Carson Shepard to get things started. Carson Shepard, a guy that knows how to get on base, has a couple of walks, I believe a walk and a single, and a fly out in this one. He'll take ball number 1 low. Carson Shepard, a guy that really, really high on base percentage and really patient hitter, knows the strike zone really well. He liked that one, so he'll swing at it. It'll be 1-1. 2 outs. Diego Ortiz, the top of the lineup, awaits in the on-deck circle. 1-1 pitch on its way. High for ball number 2. John Beal working against Carson Shepard. Beal only needs 1 more out as he'll deliver the 2-1. High for ball number 3. And the count will be 3-1 with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Beal kicks, deals. High for ball number 4. So that's a walk for Carson Shepard. And the night continues for the Southern Ohio Copperheads. Diego Ortiz will step up to the plate. Flew out his first appearance, but a really loud at-bat. And able to first pitch to Ortiz inside for ball number 1. Clayton Hodges awaits in the on-deck circle. The 0-1 pitch is high and evens the count at 1-1. Carson Shepard on second base with 2 outs. The Copperheads need 7 runs here to force a bottom of the 9th. 1-1 pitch, chopped foul behind the dish. And the count will be 1-2. So the Copperheads down to their final strike in this one. Diego Ortiz will have to keep this game alive. John Beal looks on, kicks, deals. 1-2 just outside. Evens the count at 2-2. The pressure's starting to build here for the Copperheads, who are within reach of climbing into this playoff spot, but will need some wins. The 2-2, chopped foul. Coach Lanning will make a play on it down there at third base. And Diego Ortiz will stay alive here in the top of the 9th inning. Carson Shepard on first base. 2-2 pitch. Sent foul again back into the dish. Clayton Hodges awaiting in the on-deck circle. Surprised we haven't seen Carson Shepard attempt to steal. 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball sent down the third baseline. Ortiz battling in this. trying to stay alive and seeing the ball really well, Sedric.
Yeah, there's no quit at all in any of these Copperhead players, and you know everyone's going to fight to the end and fight to the final out because as long as there's game time left, there's always still some hope.
John Beal looks on, kicks, steals the 2-2, sent over to Clay Badalak, who whips it over to Riley Hawthorne at second base, and that is the ball game. The Hamilton Joes escape with a win in this one, courtesy of a big 5-run fourth inning. 9 runs off 9 hits. The Copperheads 2 runs off 6 hits, an error apiece for both teams. And the Copperheads fall in their second straight game after winning 4 straight to start the week. So they'll fall to 11-16, and the Hamilton Joes will move to 17-12, or 17-12. So things starting to expand now in the division, as a couple of days ago they were starting to collapse a little bit more, Sedric.
Yeah, most certainly. It really helps with the Copperheads going on a 4-game win streak when they were at the bottom, and Joe's going on a 4-game lose streak when they were at the top. Really helped to constrict things, but now things are starting to kind of look like a slinky. You know, they sometimes constrict together, and then sometimes it's far apart. We hope that it slinks back together as the season goes on. Maybe the timing will be right, but it's a very tough stretch for the Copperheads. Not only do they have to face off here against the Hamilton Joes, but they have to follow it up with not 1, but 2 matchups against the Licking County Settlers. The Settlers had the night off, and they're going to look to try to take back the division lead, as now they're half a game behind the Hamilton Joes after the Joes picked up the big win today. But again, frustrating loss for the Copperheads. The Joes, after losing to the Copperheads the first game, win the next 4. So again, very impressive total, as we'll go ahead and flip the camera around to us back here, as you don't have to deal with the shaky cam no more. But yeah, Copperheads, again, they showed good stretches. I mean, they were up 1-0 through the top of the 4th inning. It looked like the pitching was really solid to start out the day, and then things kind of just deteriorated with that one really bad inning. And then we look back as well to the 8th inning. That was their chance to get back in the game. 100% was their chance to get back in the game. And what happens? They leave 3 on base. You could not afford to leave 3 on base in that situation, Tim.
Yeah, Sedric, leaving the bases loaded in that 8th inning really halted all of that momentum that they had going into that inning. So it was really a tough break for the Copperheads. And now dropped 2 straight after winning 4 to get the week started. And they're going to have to get back on a run if they want to stay competitive in this division.
They most certainly do, and there's not really any room for error at this point. I mean, it's rough. It is really rough. Bless you, my friend. As, again, the Copperheads now fall to 11-16 now, I believe. 11-16.
11-16.
So, again, lots of work to do. You only have about 10 games ahead of you. We'll see Game 28 coming up against the Settlers, and we'll also have Game 29. Good news is Copperheads still have the least number of games played in the league, so they have the most games ahead of them and the most time to come back. But you look at the standings now, that puts the Joes at 17 wins and the Copperheads at only 11, so that's already 6 games back. And when we think about it, the tiebreaker makes it even more, as well as the Settlers, a team that beat the Copperheads 3 times, is now up there as well. But one good thing, the Settlers and Copperheads have 6 games ahead of them, so if the Copperheads can figure out a way to go 4-2, 5-1, and I think at this point, Tim, you got to go 6-0 against the Settlers the rest of the way out. If they can figure that out and do that, then they might have a chance at the playoffs. If not, they can at least try to play spoiler and try to compete the best they can with the rest of these teams and have a lot of fun. I know the guys really trust each other, have had a really fun day, and they've put on a lot of great performances as well, especially at home at Bob Wren Stadium. And there will be some opportunities at Bob Wren Stadium to get some more big wins.
And I think they'll continue to stay competitive. We saw it in this one, continuing to battle back, beat gamers all the way to the end in this one. So I think even getting back in front of that home crowd, we've got some big games coming up and some really big spots here in the next couple of days. And I think things are gonna turn around for this team, and they'll stay competitive, at least at home.
Yeah, it hurts seeing, again, them being so close. And, again, we saw some umpire calls go against them in unfavorable ways that really hurt the Copperheads down the stretch. And, again, I think the one biggest thing is that big inning in the bottom of the 4th really cost the Copperheads. But when we come back, we'll get an interview with Coach Lanning, and we'll get all the way back to Athens, Ohio, and get something to eat as well too. But once again, the final score here is Copperheads 2, Joe's 9. And we'll come back and we'll flip it over as you're listening to Southern Ohio Copperhead Baseball on YouTube. All right, the Copperheads fell on the road today to the Hamilton Joes 9-2. Once again, Sedric Granger. I was joined by Tim Hanna, and now I'm joined by Coach T.J. Lanning. And Coach Lanning, once again, we saw the big inning come back to bite you guys. What's going to be something that you guys do to prevent that in the future?
Minimize the errors, and minimize the walks. I think our walks were up by the pitching staff a little bit today. And then the errors, and then we just got to get some timely hitting, man. We're leaving way too many guys on base throughout the summer. I think I counted today maybe 8 to 9 guys left on base. We take away that big inning, we hit those guys in. We 10-run rule them pretty much, so yeah.
It was definitely the biggest frustration, especially in that 8th inning. We had the 3 runners left on base. Yeah. One thing I want to ask, I know on the bus you guys were having some discussions. Was it anybody's last game or anybody who was might be leaving early?
Yeah, no. The only person that's leaving a little early is Diego Ortiz. Tomorrow will be his last games with us. He has to go down to UAB and get his stuff where it was in storage, where he was going to college. He just committed to Bryan and Stratton up in Virginia, so he has to be there pretty early to get all that stuff done and be ready for school when it gets started.
I gotcha. And now, after winning 4 games straight, you guys have lost 2 straight and going against another tough team on the road. How are you guys going to regroup going into that doubleheader?
We're going to figure it out. We're going to Johnny Holstaff it tomorrow for the second game, and we got – I don't remember who we got going the first game, but we're going to try and sneak at least 1 or maybe 2 away from them. So we're going to give them hell tomorrow. So, yeah.
Of course, of course. And now, again, we played a lot of games. We just played game 27. What's something that the team has really improved on throughout the year that you've noticed?
Just still grinding, We're still in the ball game. I mean, yeah, we're not winning as much as we'd like to, but, they're still having fun. That's all that matters. They're having fun going out here playing hard. It's not like they're potentially going out there and striking out and not getting the big hit or nothing like that. So I think we're just going to continue to have fun. I just told them, guys, look, we know where we're at in the standings. Just go out there and have fun and just play your hardest. Maybe something comes out of it. We go on a 6 to 8 game win streak or win the next 6 out of 8. Who knows? Make a little noise. We got the Settlers tomorrow. They were tied with Hamilton going into this game. Maybe take 2, maybe 3 here this upcoming week against them and see what we can do.
It is. We've seen you guys take 2 against the top team before, just on Friday against the Xenia Scouts. So it's definitely possible to be done. And one thing, of course, that you said there, Coach, again, about fun, something we've had a lot of here in the broadcast booth, something I can tell your team has had a lot of throughout the entire season, as well as the fans at home. You guys always come out really well at Bob Wren Stadium, and we hope to see you guys back when we come back home eventually. But for now, we'll be on the road. Coach Lanning, thank you once again for joining me. I appreciate you. So we're going to close out here from Foundation Field. Last time that the Copperheads are playing here, and they lost the series 4-1 over the season to the Hamilton Joes. Copperheads losing today 9-2, and they'll look to bounce back tomorrow against the Licking County Settlers. They'll have a doubleheader on the road at Denison. Well, they'll play the first game at 5:05, second game at 7:05. You'll be able to catch all the action once again on the Southern Ohio Copperheads YouTube page, and it'll be broadcasted by me and Tim, as well as also even Sargent will be in the house more than likely as well, too. So we'll get a lot of broadcasters on there and hope the Copperheads can take 2 from the Licking County Settlers. Once again, thank you guys for all joining us. The final score here from Foundation Field, Copperheads 2, Joes 9.